So creating reports is is something which is very important for a company. When a company is storing all the information in Salesforce, they sometimes want to do analysis also of the data that they have stored, right? So that is when the company needs to generate reports. All right. So Salesforce provides you good options to do reporting, and why we are actually talking about reports. Maybe some of us might be working as developers, but still, why are we talking about reports? Will we generate reports? Well, creating reports or generating reports might not be the primary role or responsibility of your job, but sometimes, because you are a developer, you understand the data model, you might need to help the reporting team into doing the reports. Okay, so that's how it is. Now, there are a few things that we need to understand for reports, which will help us create any kind of report. So, if you are trying to help someone or if you are trying to generate a report, there are a few questions which need to be answered. Okay, you just need to understand the answer to a few questions, and you should be able to create any report of any level. So, the first question that you have to understand is the report needs to be done on which object. Okay. So when I say that I want to pull a report, I want to pull the report from which object? That's it. Am I trying to pull a report for account or contact or opportunities or leads or users or cases? That's number one. Second, you have to understand which fields are needed in the report. That's the second question that you need to understand. That while we're talking about pulling out the report, what all information are we trying to pull out? Which all fields are we talking about here? Third is what filters are applicable. Okay, what all filters are going to be applicable? That's the third thing that you have to understand. Okay, and then the fourth thing is format of the report. What format of the report you basically want. And finally, output. Okay, so which object you want to create the report on, which all fields you need to pull, what filters are applicable on the report, what is the format in which you want the report, and what is the final output of the report. How do you want the output to go? So is it a one-time report that you want? Do you want to save the template? So ultimately, when you are doing a report, you will be doing it with some objective, right? Either you are doing a report just to pull one-time information, or you are trying to save a template, or you are trying to kind of what sometimes you might be willing to schedule the report so that the report can be generated every Friday and sent to someone. So that format of the report and output of the report are again the two important things which you need to take care of, right? So if you know the answer to these 5 questions, you will not have any difficulty creating any report. Correct. Okay. So let's create a report and look into that. Give me a moment. Let me log in into Salesforce. Right. So to create reports, you should just go to the reports tab first. That's the first thing that you have to do. Go to the reports tab, click on new report. Okay. Then you will be asked to select a report type. Basically, while you're selecting a report type, you are ideally selecting the object for which you want to do the report. See, if you want to report for accounts or accounts and contacts or opportunities, so that's what you're doing actually here. You're picking up the object for which you want to create the report. So let's say I want to create a report on account. So I'll pull it, say create. Okay. Now this brings you to the report builder screen. This is the report builder screen. This is where your report will be created. Here you have the options of putting, taking the fields. On the left hand side, you will see a complete list of all the fields from the object that you selected. And here you have the option of putting filters. So you have already selected the object. You have the option of selecting the fields for the report and putting the filters in the report. Okay, so these two things can be done in the report builder interface. So it's fine now. We have, and this is the preview part of the report. Okay, so this is where you can preview your report. Now, if you see, there are all these fields already listed. If you don't want these fields, you can remove them. Say remove all columns, all of them will be removed. Now your preview is blank. You can drag and bring in the fields that you need. Let's say you need the account name on the report. You need the type. You also need industry. Employees. And do revenue. Okay, so let's say this is what we have. So these are the fields that we need. Okay. Now come to the filter. In filter, there is a date field filter criteria which is there by default. You can put additional filters also. So in the date field filter, if you see, currently it is showing only the records which were created from 19th Feb and after that. You want to make it all time, just make it all time. See, it starts showing you all the data. Okay. If you want to put some other filter, you can add filter from here. Click on add filter. You want to put a filter on the industry, you can do that. Say industry equals education. Okay. See, only two records. So this way you can actually put in your filter. You want to clear this filter, remove the filter. So these are all the records that we have, right? Okay. Now come to the format. Field and filter we have understood. Now coming to the format of the report. What is report format? Basically, we have four formats of the report which are allowed in Salesforce: tabular, summary, matrix, and joint report. Okay. Tabular is the normal table kind of a format. Summary is So this tabular is normally the table kind of a format. Summary is the summary format, where you basically have the option of summarizing some value with respect to a field. So just to show it to you, just change it to summary format. The moment you do it, you will find an option to drop a grouping field. You can group the data based on some field. Let's say I want to do the grouping based on industry. I can drop it here. Okay. Now just go to show and remove the details. Now look into this. Just give me a moment. Let me see if I have any data here to the report. Okay. I think I don't have proper data in this account in the Salesforce. Or can anyone give me the login ID password? Anyone? Please share your login ID password in the chat window. Yeah. So when you do when you change the format of the report, when you change it to summary format, what happens? You get an option to group the fields. So you can group the fields based on any uh, group the data based on any field basically. So let's say I want to do the grouping based on industry. Now you see the records have been segregated based on industry. So where industry is blank, these are the records: industry apparel, this industry biotechnology, right? So in this case, I am just trying to get a summary of the data. Instead of looking into all the records, I'm just trying to get a summary that, for which industry, how many records I have and all that, right? Now, which field you want to summarize by industry? If you want to summarize the annual revenue, you can just select annual revenue and click on summarize this field. Do sum of annual revenue by industry. So that is what you will get. Want to summarize employees, and do this. Okay. Now it gives you that for which industry, what is the total amount of annual revenue and what is the total number of employees, right? So this is the summary report. If you don't want to see the detailed records, you can just go to show and remove details. Now this gives you the complete summary of the report. See, these are the industries, which industry, how much revenue, how many number of employees, that's it, right? So sometimes you might not want a detailed report. You just might just be willing to work with a summary of the report, right? That's when this summary format works well, right? Okay. Now coming to the third format, the matrix format. Matrix format is also like the summary format. The difference between summary and matrix is summary format gives you option, of grouping the data based on one field, right? Matrix format will allow you to group the data using two fields. Okay. In summary format, we have done the grouping like this. Metrics will allow you to do grouping this side versus this side. Okay. So let's do it so that you can understand. Change the format to metrics. Now you will see there are two drop fields. One this side, one is on this side. Got it? So let's say I want to do the horizontal grouping by type. Let me drop type field here. On the vertical, I already have industry. Horizontal, I have dropped type. Okay. Now just go ahead and remove the details. Remove the drop zones also. Those are called drop zones where you need to drop the field. See, earlier you were just getting the breakup by industry. Which industry, how much annual revenue, how many employees, right? Now you are getting the breakup by industry by type. So under apparel industry, under customer direct, how much revenue and how many employees. Got it? So you are basically getting the breakup on both the axes. Correct? So that's the matrix format. Now let me know if anyone has a question or doubt here so far. So once the report is ready, you are ready to go for the output of the report. Okay. For that, you just have to click on run report. Okay. For output, what all options you have? So for output of the report, you have several options. One, you can export the report. You can export it to Excel or CSV format. You can print the report. You can save report for future use. Sometimes you just create a report and save it so that you can use it in future. Uh, you can schedule a report. What does scheduling a report means? Scheduling a report means uh, defining a schedule for the report to be sent to a defined user. So sometimes you will have a requirement where a report needs to be generated on a daily basis or a weekly basis and it needs to be sent to someone. Right? The Salesforce allows you the ability to schedule the report, which means you can define the frequency and your report will automatically be generated on a defined frequency, and you can also define the user, the recipients, and they're gonna receive that report on that defined frequency. Okay. So if you want to export, you should click on export details. It will allow you to go to, go and save it in Excel or CSV format, as I said. Printable view will allow you to print. Save as will allow you to save the report. Customize will take you back to the report builder screen where you can again go ahead and customize this report. Show details is basically going to show you the detailed records. Run report now will refresh the report data. Schedule future runs will actually schedule the report. Okay, so before you can schedule, you have to save the report. Before you can schedule, because on a defined schedule, it needs to pick the saved report, right? Even if you have not saved the report, no problem. You can just click on schedule future runs. It will automatically give you the option to save it. See, first thing it does is ask you to save the report. Okay, so once you have saved the report, you come to scheduling the report. Here there are two things that you have to define. Who is the receiver of the report? Who is going to be the recipient? Who is who you need to send the report to? and what is the frequency of the report. So you say the frequency is daily, sorry, weekly. You say this report needs to be sent every Monday. That's fine. It'll be done. All right. And you can define a start date and you can define an end date. And that's it. Okay. You also have to define a preferred time. What time of the day you want the report to be sent. Okay. Because this is a developer org, you just have these three options available. In a normal paid edition, you will have all 24 hours option available. You can select what time of the day you want to send the report. That's it. So now your report is scheduled, correct? So it will be automatically sent to the defined user on that defined frequency. Clear? Now, we saw something called report type. What is a report type? Report type is basically when you try to create a report, click on new report, you are asked to select a report type, right? So what is it? Is basically there are certain types of reports which are there. Okay. Report type basically defines which objects you are selecting for the report. Okay, whether you want to create a report for account or account and opportunity or account and contact. So which all object, one object or multiple objects you are selecting for the report. That is basically the report type. Sorry. Now, sometimes what will happen, you might need to do a report with multiple report types. Okay. For example, in a report, I want information of account, contact, opportunity, and cases. Okay. Let's say, I've been asked to create a report which includes information about account, contact, opportunity, and cases. Now, there is no report type which includes all these four objects. There is no single report type which includes all these four objects. So, what is the alternate option here? I can create a report. Okay, I have report types of accounts and contacts. I have account and opportunity. And I have account and cases. Okay. So I have these three report types available, but I don't have a report type which combines all four of them. So what we can do here is we can create a joint report. There's another report format called joint report where you can club multiple report types. Okay, I can create a joint report using these three report types. I can club these three report types into one joint report. So if we club these three, then finally we can get all these in one report, right? That's what we can do with a joint report. Okay. Joining multiple report types is possible only if there is something common in them. In this case, all these report types have account common in them. If there is nothing common, then you cannot actually combine two things, right? So there has to be one side of the report type common in all the report types which you are trying to combine. Okay. So let me start with an opportunities report. Click on create. I'll remove all the columns. Opportunity name, account name, Okay. So I've created a report where I have accounts, opportunities, and amount of the opportunity. Correct. Now I just want to do a summary report of this. For which account, what is the total worth of opportunity? Like for this United Oil and Gas Corp, I have two opportunities. I just want to get a sum of the opportunities for each account. So what do I need to do? I need to do a summary report out of this. Summary report based on account name, and I need to summarize the amount and remove details. So under with each account, I have the total of the amount, right? For Edge Communication, there are two records and total is 110,000. For Express Logistics, there are two records, total is 100,000, right? Now we've got the summary out of it. Now on the same report, I need to pull in information of contacts and leads. For these accounts, I also need to pull in the information of contacts and cases, not leads, contacts and cases associated with these accounts, right? In that case, we can convert it into a joint format. Okay, just go to summary report format and select a joint format. The moment you convert it into a joint format report, you will see that it, the name here becomes block one. So because it's a joint report, you have the option of adding more blocks into it, and more blocks can be taken from the other report types. So you have an option of adding another report type here. Another report type can be accounts and contacts. Okay, so we have the account name here. Let me bring in the other report type, which is accounts and contacts. We have that. Yes. So if you look into this particular report, I have just uh, got the contacts first, contacts and account first, and then I have done a summary of that. So under each account how many contacts I have, that we get. Then we add a report type called opportunity. So now it starts giving me which all how many opportunities do I have under each account. All right. And if you scroll down a little, you will see that this particular section has all your uh, filters. So you have a separate filter option here for block 1 and separate one for block 2. All right. Since these are two different blocks, you have two different filter options available here. See, going to add a few fields to opportunity like amount. We can do that as well. Do some bit like, see this. So for each account, how many contacts you have, how many opportunities you have, and what is the total worth of all the opportunities under that account. That's what we're getting. Parallelly, I also want to look into the cases. So just click on add report type, say customer support, cases. Okay. So how many cases you have for each account, that is also being displayed. So this is a joint report. So that's what we were talking, that if you want account, contact, opportunity, cases in one report, how will you get it? So it was not possible through one report type, but what we have done, we have combined three report types. And as I said, whenever you are creating a joint report, you have to have one side of the report common. In all these three report types, account is common. Got it? Let me know if you have any questions or doubts here. The next thing that we are going to discuss is dashboard. Now, what is a dashboard? Dashboard is basically, what's a dashboard? Dashboard is basically the concept of displaying multiple reports on a single screen. The way you see the car dashboard. The same way you can design a dashboard. So dashboard basically displays multiple reports on the single screen, for so that the person who is viewing the dashboard can quickly have an understanding of multiple reports looking onto the same single screen. Now, um, for the dashboard thing, because we are talking about multiple, it will be something like this. For example, dashboard might look like this. If this is a screen, there can be a report here, there can be another report here. Let's say this is your sales and marketing report, this is your customer service report, this is your procurement report, this is your employee performance report, for example. So, on the same screen, you might have multiple reports. Now, whenever there are multiple reports on the same screen, you cannot just display the reports in the form of data. Right? You cannot just have the numbers there, because if there's a table of data here, then there is another table here, another table here, you will not understand anything. There are four data tables, you will not understand it, right? So for dashboard, what do you need? You need something like a chart here, okay, a graphical representation of the report, the way you see it in a cricket match, right? So for the person who is looking into the dashboard, for him to make things easy to understand, right? So a dashboard always works with a graphical representation of the report, with in the form of a chart or something. Okay, so it's very simple creating the dashboard. Salesforce has very simple option of creating dashboard. To create a dashboard, all that you have to do, you just have to go to the reports tab again. Go to the reports tab. Don't go to the dashboard tab. You have to go to the report tab, and there you have the option of creating a new dashboard. Okay. Now in the new dashboard, you will see that this is the screen, dashboard builder screen. There are three columns which are allowed. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you can have up to 20 reports on one single dashboard. Like three, then next three. That way you can have up to 20 reports. Okay. Now, for dashboard to bring anything on dashboard, there are two things that you have to bring in. One is the data source. Data source is basically any report that you have created, saved. So the report that you created can act as a source. Basically, what did I say? I said that dashboard is collection of reports, right? So first of all, you'll have to create the report using the reports, and then you can bring it in the dashboard. Okay. Now, as I said, normal report will not be visible because that again does not make sense to display data in the form of tables and all. So what you have to do, you have to take a component or display the report in form of a component. So here, just beside the data source of component, you have to select the component for that particular report. Right. See, now if you need another report to pull the data source, I just have one report, so I'm pulling the same data source, but you can have more different reports that you might need to pull, and then whatever suits, whatever chart you think suits your that particular report, you try and pull that. So this is how it is. So it's just a matter of creating multiple reports, dragging the reports, bringing them on the dashboard, and then allocating the appropriate chart or component to it. And then you can just put the title. Let's say this is the sales report. This is marketing report, customer support. Okay. So now someone who is viewing the dashboard can quickly look into this dashboard and have an understanding that how our sales team is doing, uh, how the marketing team is doing, and how the customer support is doing. Got it? So this is how simple it is to create a dashboard. Now, what do you do after creating the dashboard? You can go ahead and save the dashboard. Once you've created the dashboard, it needs to be used by others also, right? This is basically designed for other people's use. So all that you have to do is you just have to go ahead and save the dashboard. So to save the dashboard, you can just go ahead and say EP1, save it. Okay. Now once you save the dashboard with a certain name, others will have the access to this dashboard. So let's say a senior manager, quickly wants to have an understanding of multiple reports. He can go and access this dashboard to see the data, to see the information. Okay. How will the person who wants to see the dashboard access it? To access the dashboard, they will need to go to dashboard tab. To create dashboard, you go to reports tab. To access dashboards, you need to go to dashboard tab. Right now there is only one dashboard, so that's what is displayed under the dashboard tab. If there are multiple, your end users will have the option of searching the dashboard. Let's say you have 10 different dashboards. So the end user can always go ahead and search which dashboard they want to see on Salesforce. Right, so they can actually go to this find option and search for the dashboard. Got it? So that's how the dashboard thing will work. Okay, so this is a quicker and faster way of looking into multiple reports. Okay, now let me know if anyone has any question or doubt here.